Hey guys, it's LukeMan97 back with another video on BeamNG.Drive, and today, as you can probably see by the title, we're doing another update video. Like I've always mentioned, especially recently with my life as busy as it is, I don't really have a ton of time to make videos for the channel anymore, but I will always continue to roll out videos on the BeamNG.Drive updates so you guys can stay updated on that, because these updates are pretty awesome. So for the 0.34 release, I believe, we are getting a brand new vintage car, as you can see in the game. Now, we've had car mods in the past for these like 1930s era cars, but this getting an official vehicle finally is just awesome for this. So this is the L9, that's what it's called. Obviously it's a fake brand, but all of our cars in this game are. You can see it here. I currently have the deluxe sedan out because it's really cool, but there's a lot of versions of it. I mean, we got pickups, there's coupes, there's sedans, panel vans, we even got a police one. There's like roadster configurations. You got the drag stuff, of course. There's the drag, hot rods, you know, all this kind of stuff. But it's a really awesome vehicle. I mean, we've had stuff in the past, like I mentioned. Like, I know there was one mod called the Crash Hard Classic that was kind of a, 30s era type roadster car, kind of like this. But the Crash Hard Classic, honestly, it wasn't the best, like, build quality, and it kind of didn't handle collisions that well, whereas this thing is very nice, because the BeamNG developers always make things very nice and official. So let me see, can you even open the hood on this one? Anyways, let me just show you around this car real fast. So obviously you have the really cool rear suicide door like they always had in those old 30s era cars. You got the shifter here. Obviously it's a manual. It's only a 3-speed actually, because back in the days they didn't have that many speeds on their transmissions. You got the gauges here. Nothing too special. It's kind of cool. It says 9 in the, if I can align the camera right, it says 9 in the gauge cluster, which is to represent the name of the car, L9. You got the speedometer, gasoline, oil pressure, battery volts, water temperature. You don't have an RPM gauge, but I'm pretty sure that was pretty common back in the old days not to have an RPM gauge as much. But yeah, I don't know if the hood opens on this deluxe one. I'll have to get out another one to show you. This deluxe one has like a special little box in the back, because back in the day they didn't have rear opening like trunk hatches. It was just a body of a car. So there was no trunks back in the day. So some of them had this thing, would be my guess. Let me just get out another one real fast just to show you what under the hood looks like in these things. Because I think it's because it has this spare tire thing, it kind of blocks the hood. Let's see, will this one have a spare tire on the left as well? No, it doesn't, so we should be able to open the hood here. There we go. I don't think we can open it from this side. Oh, we can actually. I didn't even see that. It's not going to open very well. In fact, I think I'm going to close this side so we can see from this side better. But you see, you got your normal. Engines were not that big back in the day, honestly. So it wasn't really a huge engine bay, but it has, like the cool side opening, almost like garage door like hoods like they had back in those days. So that's pretty cool. This is just a pickup version of it, which I really like this. And then you have the bed that folds down from the 2 latches on the side. That's also really cool. So the second major thing they added in this update was more realistic headlights. Let's go ahead and start up the car. I don't know if you can hear that, but the engine doesn't run too loudly. Anyways, not just headlights, but all lights in general. They made it to have more smooth transitions. So, on other cars, in fact, let me just spawn in another one to show you what it used to be like, because they did make this smoother headlight transition, but only on the L9 for now. They haven't implemented it on any of the other vehicles yet. I'm guessing they're going to work towards that in the future, but they so far have not. So, as you can see, I don't know why this is so laggy. As you can see, on our old vehicle, which is the Piccolina, the headlight kind of just clicks on. It's not that realistic. You know, normal headlights just, they kind of go up slowly, so it just clicks on like that. The Bruck L9, on the other hand, it comes on very slowly, as you can see. Very smooth transition as it lights up, comes on. In fact, if you shut off the car and you have the headlights on when the car is off, and then you turn on the car, while it's starting, the headlight kind of dims, as you can see, which is really cool because that's very realistic, especially for a car of this era, for the headlight to kind of dim. And I feel like any car, recently the newer cars are better about that, where that doesn't happen as much, but it makes sense because as you're starting it, more power is getting taken from the battery, so the lights are not shining as brightly. Also, we have this really cool little old school horn. That's a pretty nice touch. But yeah, these changes of the gradual headlights, and it's not just headlights, you can also see on the tail light when you turn it on, it's also very gradual. The brake light's very gradual as well. So we do currently have this only on the Bruck L9, as I mentioned, because this is the new vehicle, so they just implemented on it. As you can see, the older Piccolinas just click on. Not very realistic, but I'm going to guess we're probably going to get these gradual, more realistic headlights on all cars eventually. They just haven't worked towards it yet, so it's only on this car for now. Anyways, moving on, we do have some new parts added for some vehicles as well. They mentioned in the change logs that they added a new wide body kit for the Gavril Grand Marshal. Let's see if we can find a wide body. And by the way, guys, these wagon configs, these are not, I know they may look official because of the thumbnail, they're not official configs, that's a mod. Let's see if we can find that. I think it might be the slider. Yeah, wide body kit. This is the new parts on the Grand Marshal. If it'll ever load in. Yeah, so you got the extended fender flares, the wider wheels in some ways, and just an overall like cool body kit on it, which is kind of nice. This one's pretty fast too. So yeah, you got that new wide body kit. The other parts they added is they mentioned for all the people that love law enforcement, they also added some new, like, let me see if that's true. On some of the older cop cars, they said they added like rotating beacon lights and stuff like that, which I know on the Barstow, I thought they had something called, oh, that's the Moonhawk, my bad. But yeah, they've added some more realistic cop car parts, and I guess what I've heard, they've also made it possible to turn on your lights from inside the car via vehicle triggers, which is also pretty cool. Obviously you have this. So I think that's always existed, but let's see. Yeah, inside here, well, this particular cop car I don't think has it. Yeah, I can't see anything. Oh, no, I think they said for newer cars, maybe the newer light bars, you can turn them on from inside. I'm going to check out one more of the older ones just to see if they have added more rotating beacon lights on it. Also, the Crown Vic is a mod, if you were wondering. Where's the Moonhawk at? Here it is. Yeah, obviously you have the Detective Special, which this one has always had a rotating beacon light, but they've just added some all-around new cop car parts. I think down here, I don't know what this button does. Yeah, so this is one of the cars that does have a button. As you can see, you can just click this switch down here, and it turns on the light on top of the car. If you don't, obviously you can still turn it on via your keyboard shortcuts, but if you don't have a, if you click it the first time, which I believe it's right there, if you click it the first time, it'll turn on both sirens and lights, and if you click it the second time, it turns off the siren, just leave the lights on. Now you can't actually turn it off, I don't believe. Maybe that's what this button's for. Oh yeah, you can turn it off. That's what that button's for. It disables it. So that's pretty cool that now if you're just cruising along in first person and you want to get involved in the police chase, you can just look down, click on your lights, start chasing them, and then disable it when you're done. So that's a really nice feature. I really like that. And the next big change they did was they made some more improvements to West Coast USA. That's why we're in this map right now. So they claim they added some new like little off-road sections before this mainland bridge, which I can see they did because this has actually, I think, been here since last update, but I know they improved it as well. So we have this little off-roady section. I think they did add a few new things to this too, where it comes around behind the pillar, goes out to this point, and then you can drive up to the warehouse area here, which is pretty cool. They also said they made some improvements over here by the racetrack by adding a new parking lot, I have understood. If I can go ahead and find that, that'd be great. Maybe it was over here somewhere. Yeah, I might not be able to find this. Oh, I think this is what they were talking about. Yeah, this looks new. I don't think this was here before. So, yeah, it definitely wasn't here before. At least I don't think so. I think this might have been the new parking lot they added by the racetrack. So that's pretty cool as well. And then another thing they did is they added a few things to the drag strip, is my understanding. Let me head over here and check this out. So I'm not going to switch cars, I'm too lazy, but if you pull up here, I don't know, how do you enable the drag strip? Well, it should, see, that's the weird thing, it should have like, oh, it's back here, forgot about that. I'm used to the old BeamNG where you could just pull up to the line and you could start your drag race, but I guess it's back here now. Also, why can't I access this? Okay. Or is this this might be a challenge actually. I'm not sure if this is yeah, so I was used to the old BeamNG where you pull up to the line and just start from there, but I guess in the new BeamNG you have to accept the mission first and then it loads you in and you just automatically start. Which it's not going to work for me. It says fatal Lua error, but that's most likely just some bug from the update that's going to need to be fixed. Anyways, they made a few changes to how the drag strip works, where it now gives you like a time receipt when you're done, so you can see more details about how fast you were going, and it also tells you like just some few extra details to let you know what is going on there. So not too major of improvements to West Coast USA, but it is always nice to see some tweaks to a map. The other major thing that they said happened was they did update the bus stops to look more realistic to their environments. So as you can see, you have some bus stops here, which not exactly like the most crazy things, but if you don't remember, before this update, bus stops were just like these blue structures, and they looked the same throughout all of the maps. They didn't have any differentiation at all. But now they've made it where it matches its environment better. So here in the city, it's just going to look like a normal bus stop kind of. But if you went to like a bus stop in Jungle Rock Island or Utah, they would look different and match their environments more. So that's a nice change to where they match more and they're not just the same blue structure everywhere. They have also added some new drift zones to this. I don't know if it's just the West Coast map or if it's added to other maps as well, but I know they definitely have them in the West Coast map. I know there's one over here in the Redwood Forest that I believe if you are driving this way, there should be a blue drift zone sign somewhere along here. Well, I don't see it, but maybe it's not that road. Maybe it's a different road. I'm not sure. Bear with me, guys. I'm trying to learn this update as well. This isn't just, I'm learning this right along with you guys because this is my first time playing since the update. So let me find that area by the, neighborhood, because that might be where that, yeah, here we go. You see the blue drift zone sign, then there's a white line on the pavement. So basically, how this works is, this isn't like a mission or anything. You just drive into the drift zone, and then I believe you just start drifting. I don't think I have the UI app for drift zones. I think that's why. Let's just double check and make sure that's correct. You click add app and then search drift. Yeah, you have to put on the current drift scores, stuff like that to do that. But basically, I don't know if you've ever played Forza Horizon 5, but that's basically what it is it just counts how much you drift and then gives you your high score when you're done, which honestly can be kind of seen as a ripoff of Forza. And I'll be honest, this game is a little bit suspicious sometimes with how they do things in some ways, because they've done it with their map too. Like if you click M, well, for some reason it's not working right now. Oh, here we go. You click M, this map comes up and you can teleport yourself. Like let's say I want to go here and you just quick travel here. That's kind of like a ripoff of Forza in some ways, because Forza also has a very similar map, and it's kind of the same way with the drift zones, because Forza has drift zones. But I'm not going to fault them for it. They're just making improvements to the game. The last major thing they really changed was with the world editor, which I personally don't use the world editor because I don't create things, but some people may use the world editor, and this could be very useful for them if I could figure out how to do that. There we go. So what they added is called a biome tool. I'm going to attempt to show you guys how to use it, but I might not be able to. I don't know why this is like this. So, yeah, as you can see, I don't know the world editor very well. Oh, here we go, biome tool. Maybe if we head out here, we'll be able to edit something more, but that's the forest tool. So, yeah, I'm not very familiar with this, but basically the way this biome tool works is, I'll just explain it, and then if you really want more clarification, you can go watch BeamNG, the official BeamNG channel's video of this, and it'll explain it a little bit more. But it's basically where you can draw a diagram of where you want to put like trees and vegetation, stuff like that. You can diagram that out, and it'll just put all the trees in there for you, versus having to put them in like individually if you were thinking about, sticking down. You have to individually stick down stuff. So it's nice because it can add stuff in a group, and you can also specify where you don't want trees to be added, such as like in a road like this. But you can draw a diagram and have them added on both sides. So that's really nice, especially for people that like building maps, because then you can easily install your vegetation without having to place them down one by one. So that's definitely a big time saver. Like I said, I personally do not use the world editor at all because I don't create maps or anything, but it's definitely very useful for someone that would. So before I end the video, I just let me just show you how this new car wrecks real fast, because it is pretty cool. As I don't know if you guys are car guys at all. Well, this car actually has a trunk, but this was a coupe, so it had more room. But this era cars from like the 30s and the 20s, they honestly weren't that stout. They were kind of made of like thin sheet metal, which I don't know if it was thin sheet metal. It's just the metal wasn't as good back then, I guess. And basically, when these things wrecked, they crumpled up like a tin can because they just weren't that stout compared to cars today. So let's go ahead and hit a pole here, and I'll show you what I mean. So as you can see, just absolutely crumples up. And I mean, and also another thing about these old cars is the engine would go straight into the passenger cabin and just completely annihilate the driver and passenger, which nowadays cars' engines are designed to, in the event of a hard front collision, to slide underneath the car so it doesn't go straight into you and kill you. But back in the day, that was not a thing. So as you can see, it completely crushed in the front of the car, and yeah, you're probably dead, especially if you're the driver with that steering wheel there. But anyways, that's the BeamNG update 0.34. Let me know if I missed anything in the comments down below. If I did, I'm so sorry about it. It's hard to remember all this. But overall, a very good update. It's very good when they combine simple with also adding some nice features, because when they add too much stuff, it feels like it's just too much to get used to and digest. But when they add like one new vehicle and only improve some stuff, it's like a good mix. And I really like how they have added this, because like I said, we've had mods of old cars like this in the past, but we've never had an official car in the game, so it's always nice to get that. Anyways, I've been talking long enough. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I don't know when my next video will be, but I'll always make one whenever the BeamNG updates happen. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and turn on notifications. Also comment down below if I missed anything or you think I should have included some more things. And I want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas if you guys celebrate, because it is almost Christmas. So, Merry Christmas to you all, and I will see you in my next video.